Hello once again, loyal Brassbanned internet viewers. Today we're here with Mr. Benjamin Crocker, who is currently the conductor of the St Mary's Band Club. Ben, how you going?
Very good, Tim. Thanks very much for coming out to St Mary's.
No worries, it was a bit of a trek. I actually caught the train out here. It took me about an hour from Central and I sort of sat next to some interesting characters, but I made it in one piece and fingers crossed I get back home again. Tell me a bit, how's St Mary's going? Are you guys looking forward to Nationals? Going well?
Yeah, look, mate, St Mary's is going very, very well. I sympathise with your trek out here. I don't go near the St Mary's train station. I always take care to drive out here. But well done for braving it. St Mary's preparation is going really well. We have, I guess, a reduced number of weeknight rehearsals. Probably not what some bands would expect in the lead up to a Nationals, but we focus very much around workshop weekends, like the one you're sitting in on here today.
So do most of the players in the band come from the local area, or are they sort of coming in from a bit further afield and that's why it's mostly weekend workshops? What would you say?
Yeah, look, we do have a core of players, I guess, who have been for a long time based in Western Sydney, but I think certainly over the last couple of years, as the band has risen, if you like, we've drawn players from all over town, and indeed as far afield as Newcastle and the Central Coast. So it does work well. Of course, the thing in Sydney and the thing in Western Sydney, which you really have to be aware of and understand, is that the traffic is so bad, you really can't get to rehearsal unless you're prepared to drive for a couple of hours if you live on the other side of town.
Some rather serious first world brass band problems right here at St Mary's Band Club.
Yeah.
Now, tell me a little bit, what are you playing down at Nationals? What's your own choice? What's your hymn and what's your march? Unless they're state secrets, fully understand if you don't want to disclose them.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're playing an Australian composition for the march.
That's unusual.
We are playing an Australian composition for the march. As for the own choice, I know you know, because you've been peeking around our band room, but I'll keep it under wraps for the brass band viewing public. How's that?
There you go. Something to look out for. I'm sure you'll all enjoy it when you hear it though.
Yeah, should be great.
So tell me a little bit more about, this is St Mary's Band Club. I came here today for the first time. It's really a really big RSL. Do you get funding from the venue for the band? Is the club based around the band? Is the band based around the club? How does that work out? It must be quite unique in Australia to have this situation.
Yes, mate, it is. Well, I mean, it is a long story. The band itself has been around for about a century, and the club has been around for a shorter period of time. Now, in the beginning, what happened is there was a local band in St Mary's when this was a township, just like any in New South Wales, well outside of Sydney. And the guys in the local band used to drink with the coppers and the lawyers that lived in this area.
Yep.
And when the New South Wales Commission started giving out liquor licences and gambling licences, they said, hey, this would be a really good way to raise money for our band. So they got together and they started basically a very informal little club at first in a tin shack, if you like, on this same site.
Great.
And over time, the club developed into this complex you can see today, which resembles any RSL or major club that you'd see, and are very, very popular all around town. It was about 30 years, I think, which the club, 30, 40 years perhaps, when you see the club as you know it, as you see it now, came into existence. Okay. And they really modernised, formalised the structure. We installed a board of directors rather than running the band ourselves. Yeah. And yes, as a result of that board of directors and the club administration gives us a budget every year.
So are you in any way subsidised by the local council, or it's all based from the club?
No, we definitely don't get anything from the council that I know of. But
sure.
But
it could be reaching beyond the realms of what a musical director might know there.
Yep. You'll see us called St Mary's Band Club Brass. Yep. That's because it's the band club that funds and sponsors the band. Yeah.
And what's the local support like? I imagine it must be quite different to the brass bands, which are sort of funded by the local government. To have a band club here, do you have a lot of people coming to your concerts? Do they really feel ownership of what the band does, would you say?
Tim, that's a really good question. There is certainly a lot of older members of the community who are perhaps that way inclined. They're fond of the band. They remember it from the old days. However, there's hundreds of people that come to this club every day that might not actually know what the band does. Yeah, I mean, people come in and use the pokies. Yeah. People come in and dine at the restaurant, and their money goes into our pockets. But they might not be terribly interested in brass band music.
So I guess there's a real opportunity there to go out and engage with those people who aren't coming to concerts so far.
That's right, and oftentimes we get people very, very surprised who they know the band club, but then they see why it's called the band club and what we actually do, and we do year by year get new audience members, and it's really great.
So Nationals coming up. Let's talk about how you're going to do at the end of it.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere in particular you think you're going to be really picking up some points? Do you have any sort of, you're really hoping to get something out of the hymn or something in the march? You're a bit scared of the own choice. Any secrets you can fill us in on there?
Well, I don't. Have you heard with the way we're going at the moment? As you know, we do a lot of work with Professor David King, and I guess you would describe his approach to learning and music making as holistic.
Yep, absolutely.
So there certainly isn't any one category that I think we're going to excel in more than the others. It'll be generally, though, I think the band will perform very well. Yeah. So.
And the street march, do you guys take that seriously, or you just sort of rock up and do it on the day? I know a lot of bands around the country have different views on this. What's the St Mary's ethos with marching?
There's always one person in every band that just adores marching.
Is that you?
I haven't found that person in our band yet, so I don't know. But I tell you what, the band's very proud of itself, and no, I don't think you'll find the band doing a bad job of marching. They mightn't be their favourite thing, but they'll turn up and take it seriously. Yeah.
Well, thanks very much for joining us. Best of luck down in Melbourne. I think we all hope you do really, really well.
Thanks very much, Tim. Good to be with Brassbanned. Thanks for coming out to the sunny western suburbs of Sydney.
It's gorgeous and leafy out here. Thank you once again.
Thanks very much, Tim.